Hi friends, log on to my website fastbeam.com and talk to me on the forums. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram.
Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this, which happens to be the Nissan Pathfinder, and bold chrome treatment over here. The grille gets a piano black touch as well, and this is a massive towing hook. Now this is not the top spec trim, that's why it doesn't get front fog lamps. Lights are nice, doesn't get a projector setup though, and overall it does feel very bold. Chrome treatment is in plenty. I think Middle East loves chrome treatment as much as we Indians do. Now this particular variant gets a front fog lamp as well as a DRL over here, which means that I should be reviewing this car because it also gets a front parking camera. And as you can see, the design looks a lot like the X-Trail. Now this is a mid-size SUV. Wheels are large enough. These are 20-inch wheels, 235, 55, 70, or the lower trims get 18-inch wheels. Footboard over there, and from the side also it looks really nice. This car, chrome treatment again on the door handles as well. Rear lights look kind of aftermarket 4-wheel drive SL, which is the trim right now. And yeah, aftermarket lights sort of. Rear parking sensors, towing hook over there, and the antenna is placed on the top, as always the case. Now let me quickly open the boot of this car. You just need to press a button and it has a sensor to understand if someone is behind right now. You can see the boot is actually decent sized with the seats up, and this is for the sound system. It gets an amazing Bose sound system, space to keep stuff over here, 12-volt charging socket over here, and the seats can be reclined. Okay, firstly gets a massive headrest, and it's a 7-seater. You can just press this button to recline the seats and pull it back. So once the seats are reclined, it really improves the boot capacity. There's a hook over here, and overall, yes, the cabin does feel nice. Press this button to close the boot. Come on, faster. Yeah baby. Okay, that's done. Now let's quickly get into the rear seat of this car. So doors are nice and big and chunky, feel heavy as well. There's a cup holder over here, there are twin cup holders over here. You can step inside the car, press this button. Now you can press this button, which can also recline the seat upwards, and obviously it can just move forward like that. That's extremely convenient. Now as you can see, the last row doesn't have as much space, and under thigh support is absolutely not there, but headroom is decent and children can comfortably sit here. 2 cup holders over here, AC vent over here, AC vent over here, 2 cup holders over here, hook over here, that is to secure the seat belt, and there's a speaker here as well as over here. Window area is actually large enough, and there's a panoramic roof here at the rear as well. So let's quickly get out. Oh my god, there's so much effort. Okay, don't get afraid of you having effort. Now I can push behind the seat all the way, a lot of play over there, almost flat floor, and scoot out seat back, magazine holder over here, screen over here. Now if you want to listen to audio from this screen, it's placed over here, the ports, multiple ports, and there's also this control for volume. You pull out and move it. Climate control, air conditioning at the rear. AC vents are placed over here, only over there, which is kind of disappointing. Needed AC vents here on the B pillar as well. Seats are nice and supportive. Legroom is decent, under thigh support is lacking, headroom is good, and overall the cabin does feel nice. Now over here we get a center armrest between cup holders, or you know, you can obviously recline this in 40, 20, 40 format if you want to increase the boot space, that is. Let's quickly get into the driver's seat of the car right away. So keyless entry, obviously at this price point, large door pockets for right now. It has an ashtray. These are controls for the power window. This is the control for the outside rear view mirror adjustment, electric adjustment for the driver's seat. Let me push this a bit behind right now, and there's so many buttons over here. This is for traction control. This is for basically cross traffic alert. This is for tow mode. This is to turn on and off the power door at the rear, and this is to open the boot. Lot of space over here in the floor, and there's a handbrake, or rather foot brake over here. It says Pathfinder on the mat, just in case you forget what car you are driving, which is a nice touch. Now as you can see, the display in the center is nice, and the fonts of the instrument cluster aren't that great. Speedometer and the tachometer look a little too basic for my liking. These are the controls for the audio system. This is the control for the cruise control, and electric adjust both for reach as well as rake. And this is the control for the headlight. This is the control for the wiper, and the wiper blades work well. Send a lot of spray. It says engine oil maintenance due. Okay, basically it's giving information over here. Now that thing over there, display. Now if I want to browse through that menu, I have to press this button. This is to increase or decrease the brightness of it. Now most bright right now. This is basically to toggle through the trip meters, twin trip meters, as well as an odometer. So it does look very nice, and these are the controls for the 4-wheel drive system, 2-wheel drive auto or lock mode on. This is the downhill assist, twin cup holders over here, heated and ventilated front seats as well, air conditioning making a lot of noise, so let me turn that down. So it gets climate control AC with the display over here. These are the controls for the air conditioning, these are the controls for the audio system with 6 CD changer. You can just select which one you want to use. These are the controls for the camera, zoom in and zoom out. Meanwhile, a lot of settings here. Touchscreen isn't that fluid, it could have been slightly better. And let me get into camera. So it gets a 360-degree parking camera, which is a nice touch, and although visibility could have been slightly better, the glove box is very large. You can keep a 1 liter bottle, sorry, you can keep a laptop over there, that's how big it is. Meanwhile, let me quickly get into reverse. So we are in reverse. It obviously gets adaptive guidelines and parking sensors too. This is the hazard light switch, this is the push button start of this vehicle, and overall, yes, the dashboard does look a little nice, but it could have been more modern. But this car has been on sale since 2013, so you really can't blame Nissan, because the next generation is going to be coming very soon. There's a sunglass holder over here. These are the controls for the light, as well as this is the control for the rear sunroof. So it's a panoramic roof. This is the one at the front, and that gives a very airy feeling inside the cabin. The seats are extremely comfortable, nicely done. They're actually very wide and large, basically for the frame of Middle Eastern people. And yes, I like the car, although the horn could have been slightly better. There's a dummy switch over here, and there's a cubby hole over here with a 12-volt charging socket, as well as a cigarette lighter too. So yes, in terms of storage bins, Nissan hasn't skipped at all. But let's quickly get inside the menu. It gets voice commands too, but it's a little cumbersome to browse through this menu for my liking. And you can obviously zoom in and zoom out the camera too. So yes, small touches which make the Pathfinder very interesting a vehicle. And as far as I have to say something, well, I feel that more features could have been offered with a better touchscreen, auto dimming inside rear view mirror, and over here we get a mirror as well as a light. Same is the case over here, and this sun visor extends so you can block the sun. There's a lot of sun here in Dubai right now. And there's a handle over here. So overall, the cabin does feel nice and airy, and offers you a very nice feeling too, because you sit in a commanding driving position. But how is it to drive? Well, let's get going. All right, here we go. Yes, being a CVT gearbox, it takes its own sweet time to respond, but somehow doesn't have that amount of rubber band effect that you would expect. Now this car is powered by a 3.5 liter V6 engine, which outputs 284 horses and 351 Newton meters of torque. Being a Japanese engine, it is very refined, has good amount of punch lower down, and mid-range is also decent, but because of the CVT effect and the top end, it just feels very laggy. Now it feels cumbersome to drive. At low speeds, the steering feels heavy. At higher speeds, it does weigh up decently well. But what Nissan has done in the recent refresh, which it had given in 2017, has stiffened up the suspension at the front as well as the rear, and this car feels a bit lumpy, because of which the ride quality isn't great. It is on the stiffer side. It does feel a bit harsh as well. Handling isn't that great either, because there's some amount of body roll as expected from a car of this size. Yeah, it does weigh over 2 tons. And the main thing about this car is that obviously it's not coming to India anytime soon, is the fact that it does give a lot of presence. It's very capable off-road. Yes, lower trims get only front wheel drive. This one is equipped with 4-wheel drive, and the overall feel of this SUV is something which many people are not aware of, that Nissan makes such cars. And if launched in India, will be priced close to rupees 50 lakhs, which makes it a no seller at all, because the Fortuner costs lesser, also feels much more modern, has more equipment as well, because obviously the latest generation Fortuner was designed, developed and launched much later than this particular car, which dates back to 2013. Now this car has a very interesting feature. When you park your car and you're getting off, it will remind you if someone is in the rear seat. So basically, if you're taking your children along and then you realize, oh yeah, I just forgotten them. So yeah, that's a very nifty feature, but I really wonder which parent is going to forget that they have their children in their car and just leave the car. The brakes on this car do offer good stopping power, some amount of nosedive under heavy braking, but overall, yes, it is sure-footed. But the crucial question is, how exactly is the Pathfinder? Is it a good SUV? Well, it all depends how you look at it. It gives you the traditional SUV feel. Yes, it does. And yeah, it's not the most modern, because it's been around since 5 years now. Next generation model will be launched, I think, next year. And when you factor in how much improved the X-Trail is, you can bet on the fact that the next generation Pathfinder will be definitely a big fat improvement as well. But in the current generation, yeah, it doesn't have the appeal to, fend off other modern rivals in the segment. and not only in India but globally as well, it is not the topic in the segment. But this car does show what Nissan is capable of. They have a ton of SUVs. Yeah, in the Indian market we only have the Terrano, which is nothing but the rebadged Duster. Globally we have a lot of Nissan SUVs, right from the X-Trail, which was showcased in India but wasn't launched. There's the Murano, there's a polarizing opinion one, the Juke, as well as the flagship, which happens to be the Petrol, which was also showcased in India, gets a V8 engine. Now obviously this one only gets one single engine, which happens to be the V6 Petrol, and that is a big hitch in bringing it to the Indian market. And the other hitch is of course the pricing and the lack of excitement this particular SUV offers. So guys, this is a short review of the Nissan Pathfinder, a car we hope will come to India in its next generation, which is beyond 2020. And if it does, probably if Nissan can get the pricing right and put it right against the Fortuners and Endeavours of the world, this might just sell.